This is my finished, well, almost finished project anyway. It is a 2011 Toyota Tacoma. It's a four-door TRD Sport, four-wheel drive. Just did all the electronics and the audio system in it, finished it up. It's going to go over everything just from, I guess, bumper to bumper on it, everything I did, cosmetics, stuff like that. I just did tint on the all four doors, eyebrow, blackout decals up here, got the DC logo up top, and it's really dirty right now. I still need to wash it. Blacked out the Toyota emblem, smoked halo headlights, leveling kit 3-inch with fuel wheels, Terra grappler tires, black rear bumper, Alpine Star, and 5% tint, and that's basically cosmetic. Oh, and the stubby antenna, but cosmetically, that's basically all I've done to the truck. Most of it is wiring and things like that, which I'll go over now. So basically starting up front, I added a front camera. If you're like me, ever pull up real close to somebody and wondering how close their hitch is getting to your bumper or anything like that. So I installed a front camera here, flushed it in the bumper, or in the grill there. So you wouldn't really notice it until it was pointed out to you or anything. Let me pop the hood real quick. Basically everything audio-wise and wiring-wise on this truck is Kicker. There's a few other things, other brands installed, but for the majority it's Kicker. So I've got two Kicker battery blocks here, 0-gauge wire. I also did the big 3 upgrade on this truck also, so it helps everything flow easier, gets more voltage, lets more current run. A lot of people, if you're installing an amplifier on your battery, hooking the wire up to it, electricity runs in a circuit, so you hook a big wire up to your positive battery and you don't upgrade the ground, you're not really doing yourself any good there. So, but anyway, it's the big 3, all Kicker wiring all throughout. My here. Again, 0-gauge wire, 0-gauge wire to the fuse block, mounted to the inside of the fender there, and it goes down inside the frame of the truck because I wasn't about to try to run 0-gauge wire under the carpet of this thing. Follows the frame down. Let me grab my keys. It comes up actually underneath the rear seat here into a block under the seat. Of course, I don't have a light. That's nice. Anyway, it comes up to the floor, enter a distribution block, 0 in, and it's got 3 4-gauges out. Custom painted console. I did all that with the Kicker logo. If I can scoot this back a little bit. There you go. And it does a wrap around the back there. It's got it on the other side as well. Painted the center black there. Tablet on the dash. There we go. So this used to actually be 2 cup holders. If you've ever seen just a factory Tacoma, it's got one here. It's got 2 more up here with a cubby, and I actually took all that out and fiberglassed, doubled in head unit in here. So that's actually what I'm outputting film, my Bluetooth and auxiliary in, USB, all that into the amplifiers. But I do have a tablet running into it as well. So this up here, I can actually, I'm online on it right now, so it's actually streaming from my phone, or the Wi-Fi hotspot from my phone. With that, you've got obviously Google Maps, all this, the obvious perks of having a tablet with internet on it. So your navigation, everything like that is on screen, and then you've also got your Pandora. You can watch Netflix, all that, watch movies and all that while you're driving. So all that safe stuff. Let's see, up here I've got the Bluetooth mic. These switches up here, I've got let's see, that one's the halos, that's the strobes for the front, And I've got that's the front camera switch. So if I flick that on there, there we go. So front camera on there, and again down here. So I can click that off. It goes back to the screen. Also a backup camera, so I can hit reverse, shift into reverse, and that's looking behind me there. And then again up on the mirror as well. So I've actually got 2 cameras, front and rear, on the truck that turn on and off automatically. I've got an accent light here. I made that dim or dimmable because like night driving, things like that, it's just kind of a pain to, you know, not be able to dim all your lights down. So I made it to where you can turn it actually up and down, brighter and brighter. And then I've got a switch down here, all those toggles I added in there. That one turns that accent light off because it's only solid blue. And I've got color changing LEDs on all of the floors. Shut this door here. There we go. I've also got in the rear seat as well, so it lights up all the floorboard. And then the controller for it is inside there. It has got a audio setting on it, so it can pulse the music, or you know, set it on one particular color as well. Let me actually run it back up to the front real quick, because I forgot to show you this. Inside those headlights, I've got a full remote start keyless and alarm installed on here as well, with dual shock sensor, tailgate trigger, all that stuff. So it's pretty well protected. But this has a set of halos in the headlights. I tied those in with an auxiliary channel and then put it on a timer. So when you lock or unlock the truck, it kind of like wakes it up and it turns my halos on, and they'll stay on for 30 seconds. And both of them there. So then those timeouts shut off after 30 seconds whenever you lock or unlock the vehicle. And then you can also just turn them steady on up here, or this is my strobe switch. And I just put those in a strobe kit just for the parking on the show or something like that. Going back to the audio part. This is a Pioneer remote, and the reason I did that is because on the last truck it was also a Tacoma, and I didn't have steering wheel controls, which I do have steering wheel controls in this vehicle, but I didn't on my last one. So I drive probably like everybody else, one hand on the steering wheel, the other hand just rested here. So those were my controls. I just kind of, volume up, volume down, track all that stuff right here, instead of having to reach way forward around the shifter to get to that. So the way this thing's working, it's actually, I took out the infrared eye that shines and points at the radio and sends the commands, and I soldered it onto the circuit board and ran the wire all the way up through the A-pillar and into this up here where it shows your temperature and your direction there. And since I can't see it with my eyes, I'm gonna try to pick up the camera, but you should see it flashing. There it is right there. So that is volume down, volume up, different things like that. So it's actually hidden inside that glass right there, and it shines down onto the radio. That was kind of a pain in the butt to figure all that out, but it ended up working out really good. So aside from the tablet, the head unit, I've got kicker. Those are the new KS components there, 6.5 components with a 1-inch tweeter. I've got actually a bunch of those. So I've got a set in the kicks, both sides here. I've got a set in the doors with the woofer there, and the tweeter mounted up here in that stock location. And then I've got another set up in a coaxial in the back doors. So I've got 3 sets of 6.5. Actually, I'm sorry, those are 6 3/4. 3 sets inside, and then I've got 4 of the KM, I think they're the KM 6.5 or something like that. They're the marine version in the bed. I've got a front row audio processor by Kicker as well. There's the control for it inside the console. And so it's actually got stage width, time alignment, everything like that. So basically what this thing's designed to do is put you kind of what it's talking about in the front, front row. So you can actually adjust. It's got a surround setting. You can adjust the bass, the kick equalizer. It kind of brings out the lost bass in certain tracks. And then I've got my adjustment here. This is my bass knob. It controls just the sub. So all your settings that you would want to do are right there in the console. Just really easy to grab and reach to real quick. And then also in the console, I've added a USB charger. It's a high current USB charger there. And then again on the back of the console back here for the passenger and the back seats, because these Toyotas actually don't come with a solid 12-volt cigarette lighter plug. They're all switched. So if your phone's dying and you got to leave your key on to basically charge it. So I went around that and installed my own. From the tablet, so it's on and off with the key. Obviously it's charging right now with the key on. If it goes to sleep, that's what this button is for right here. So if I actually just give that a quick press, it'll wake the tablet back up, and it does that by disconnecting the charger. So button, and then release, and it starts charging again. So that brings the screen back to life if I'm driving and it times out. That way I don't have to pop the dash off to hit that stupid wake up button. So escort radar detector up there, and I've mounted the mute switch up here in the headliner. It's actually mounted to the headliner. I mean, it's solid to it. So, and then I'll go to the back. Ew. This is the amp rack under the back seat here, and I mean, you can sit in the seats. It's actually a solid surface under there. It's all, metal casing, so it won't crush any of this. Everything is still usable in this truck. That's what I wanted to kind of do, is leave it to where it's still fully functional, but still has the good look and effect and all that. So there's the amp rack. I've got 2 of the iX 500.4s. I've got one here, and this is a plexi. It's kind of hard to see because it's really clear, but yeah. So I've leveled it off with plexi on both amps there. And then I've got LED lit cooling fans to keep the amps nice and cool when they're running hard. And there's the front row processor. That thing is really, really cool. If you don't have one, you should get one because they're really, really neat. It totally changes the way your whole system sounds. So, let's see, those are the 2 4-channels. This one here is actually running the bed and the rear speakers. That one is running the front kicks and the front doors. So 4 on that one, 4 on this one, actually 6 on this one, speaker wise. And then the sub amp is under the passenger seat, and I'll show you that a little bit later. It's actually sunk into the floor underneath that passenger seat, so 3 amps total. And then I've got a custom built box here. I know you can buy somewhat of a version of these. I decided to build my own because they didn't make them available for 12s, and I wanted 2 shallow 12s. They only had like 2 10s or 1 12 or something like that, so I just went ahead and just built my own. It's bolted to the back wall, so it's solid. Don't have to worry about vibrations or anything like that. And then these are 2 of the 12-inch Kicker Comp RT, which is a shallow version of the Kicker Comp R, and 400 watt RMS on those. I think 800 peak each, and they're actually really good. They sound really good. They do what I want it to do anyway. So there you go. There's the amp rack, and then the bed is kind of the big show of the whole thing here. So I've actually gone and mounted marine speakers in the bed of my truck here. I've got 4. I've got 2 on that side, 2 on this side. And these things really are waterproof. I mean, I listen to music while I power wash my truck, while I'm washing it. They've gone through the rain, everything. So they're sealed to the outside wall, and then also protected from the inside. I don't think they really have to be protected from the outside, but I know inside the bed there's a lot of dust and stuff that comes up through the wheel well. So I actually made cups for the back of all 4 speakers, so they're sealed from the rear as well. And then when you drop the tailgate, they all come on here. They're all LED lit, and it's on demo mode right now. There's a wireless remote I have in my center console, and you can change the different effect that they do. And then I've built also inside these compartments. This is a factory compartment that I've modified. Toyotas come with these, and then there's a 110 volt plug there so you can plug appliances into it and all that. But on this side over here, I've got hidden kind of a control panel I've made as well. So it's got my battery voltage, which I've had my truck sitting for a while with the key on, so probably need to start it here in a bit. There you go. So you've got a cigarette lighter, LED lit cigarette lighter there for charging. If you're tailgating or at a party or something like that, you can charge your phone back here on the tailgate. Pioneer remote controller controls everything basically on the head unit. So volume up, volume down. I can actually skip forward and stuff on the tracks, so you can control everything. You can actually even control the tablet from this because it's Bluetooth in the head unit. So you can skip tracks with the tablet, whether it's Pandora, stored music, or anything like that. And then these speakers can be controlled individually from this volume knob. So this volume knob controls only the bed speakers. You can turn those up or down from the rest of the system and not have to worry about, you know, blasting the inside speakers or the outside speakers, you know, all together. You can do them independently too. So, and then again, the voltmeter there. I'll show you what that switch does. If you let me go turn off the key. There you go. So, keys out. And what this, let me get my phone too, I'll need that. So what this switch does is it actually turns on everything in the truck audio-wise. So it doesn't turn on, you know, the rest of the ignition that's, you know, isn't being used or anything like that. It only does the stereo. So if I turn that switch on, I just heard my tablet charger kick in, so there we go. The head unit's on, the tablet's charging, the tablet cooling fan is going, all the components back here are functional, the remote, everything like that. And then when you open and close the tailgate, it actually turns everything on and off too. That's all the time. I forgot to show you that a second ago. So tailgate, open and close, it actually turns on automatically everything. Anyway, so the deal with the switch, again, so you can control everything from the bed of the truck without having the key in the ignition or anything like that. One thing I was worried about is people coming back here and flipping that switch when I'm, you know, not with the truck or anything, if it's parked somewhere. And so I've got around that. I've got a Viper Smart Start installed on this as well. And I've wired in, again, the auxiliary channels, like I showed you earlier, the halo lights. And I've got this bed switch right here so I can lock the bed. I'll send that command to my truck. So it's sent here, and now that switch doesn't do anything. It completely shut everything down. It made it inoperable, so that switch is just dead. Nothing back here works. Nobody can get in here and mess with it when I'm not around until I unlock the bed. And then there we go. Everything powers back on again. So I have, I've kind of thought about that. You know, people mess with, you know, people are stupid and they like to mess with your stuff. So I've done that, and I also put a trigger on my tailgate. So if you have anything loaded, like a four-wheeler or anything back at the truck, once they drop the tailgate, it sets the alarm off also. So everything is completely protected. I'll show you the sub amp under the, there we go. It is the KX 800.1 underneath that seat there. And that thing was a real pain. I had to, again, kind of sink it down into the floor to actually make it fit and clear the seat so you can still move it forward and backward. You know, to give it full slide and everything to keep it working the way it should. So I'll show you the steering wheel controls. Those were real fun. So again, this, you know, controls the head unit from back here. But I also wanted the steering wheel controls on the steering wheel itself to work. So how I did that is basically right now I have, let me just flip this over the key here. Shut the switch off. There we go. All right, so while the tailgate is down, that controller works and the steering wheel doesn't. I originally was going to have them both work at all times, but they interfered with each other and started sending weird codes. So right now the bed's down, nothing here. Those don't work. Those don't do anything. None of these do. It's completely disconnected. But when I put the tailgate up, close it, it actually flips a whole relay bank I had to wire up. It was a real pain. And then kicks it over to these. Now these work. So I have these back when the tailgate is down, but obviously when the tailgate's up. But obviously when the tailgate's down, you're going to want to use that controller instead, because you won't even be in the truck anyway. The entire cabin of the truck is completely isolated, sealed, insulated, everything with ballistic material, which huge shout out to them for sending me all of their stuff. I still have to put in the hood armor. Haven't done that yet, and I need to do that. But all the doors, the roof, the back wall, the firewall, everything is completely sealed. I wouldn't say soundproof because it's almost impossible, because I mean obviously it's just normal glass and everything like that, but it's cut my road noise down by about 3 decibels, which is roughly half. So it cut everything down in half that I hear going down the road. And so here's a normal panel you would hear. Kind of, it's a hollow sound, and then also my roof. I mean, everything it's unreal, the difference that made as far as the sound. Even from factory speakers, if you're going with speakers at all, if you seal your door, it gives it so much more bend bass. It brings out what the speaker can do, and that was a huge difference seen there. Under the carpet also, I've got 3 layers, hood liner, like I said, everything. So it's real weird going through a car wash. It sounds like just like it's spraying on brick instead of spraying on metal panels. It's really cool. I think that just about does the thing I wanted to show you. So anyway, hope you guys like it. Hope I didn't forget anything to show you. And if you see me around, flag me down, I'll let you hear it. It sounds pretty good. It actually gets really loud. Sounds really clear. Kicker did a really good job with all their new products. And that's it. Thanks for watching.